After this thief was sent to prison, he kept shouting that the prison guard in front of him was the real criminal, and that he himself had been wronged. At first, the officer actually believed him, but later, he noticed that every time the thief saw another person, he would shout that the person in front of him was the real thief. The officer checked everyone in the entire prison, and not one of them was a criminal, so the one in the cell must be Lupin. But strangely enough, with Lupin's intelligence, he should have escaped long ago, yet for half a year, he did nothing but shout every single day. No actual action at all. The officer initially thought this was part of his escape plan, but later realized that Lupin might actually have gone mad. This outcome was hard for the officer to accept. He had spent his entire life chasing Lupin, and now he almost wished Lupin would just escape. Finally, the day of execution arrived. Not only had Lupin not escaped, but his appearance had even become like that of a primitive man. The only thing that hadn't changed was that he still kept shouting he wasn't the criminal, that the prison guard in front of him was the real Lupin. Jien disguised himself as a monk and sneaked into the prison, hoping to help Lupin escape, but Lupin seemed to have truly lost his mind, insisting he was innocent. Helpless, Jien had no choice but to leave. Just 30 minutes before the execution, Lupin suddenly stood up. He then used a razor blade to cut the ropes binding him. In truth, he had been waiting for the moment everyone gave up on him. He could have escaped at any time during that year. The reason he waited until now was that when he was first arrested, the officer's smug expression had irritated him deeply, so he wanted to make the officer taste the bitterness of failure. Just then, the officer suddenly returned to check the cell. Seizing the moment, Lupin asked him if someone could help shave his beard before he died. The officer agreed, but not long after, news of Lupin's escape spread throughout the prison. The officer rushed excitedly into the cell, only to find that Lupin hadn't escaped at all. And what's more, he seemed perfectly normal, still shouting that he wasn't the real criminal. The officer couldn't take it anymore, and decided to execute Lupin immediately.
Wait, don't! I beg you! You're about to make a terrible mistake! I'm not Lupin!
Just then, the prison guard beside him suddenly called out the officer's name. The officer's mind went completely blank. It suddenly dawned on him that the person standing before him was the real Lupin. All along, the man had been claiming he was innocent, just so that, at the last moment, he could switch identities with the guard, and let someone else take his place in execution.